What's going on, guys? Fincone here. Today I'm going to be showing an early access game, and I'm leery to do this because lately some of the early access games have been disappointing or fallen off or not even completed. But this is Exanima, and it's a prelude to another game from like a really small studio. I think they got 2 guys that are actually the devs for it. But this game's interesting because if for any of you that's played Mountain Blade or old school kind of Diablo II, you can see that it's a mixture of both. And I say it's a mixture of both because it's extremely heavily physics related. It's physics driven, and it's just, I've been having so much fun with it. I think I've invested 12 hours of play into it, and it's just a demo product, and it's all because it's entirely physics driven that it makes the combat so fun. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of negative parts and points to this game in terms of learning curve, but I'll go ahead and show some basic combat and then maybe walk you guys how to do it if I can manage to kill this one guy. Oh my god, this is gonna be there we go. There we go. Okay, so now that we're in here, I just wanted to get in here before I actually explain it. And you can see how it's pretty heavily physics driven. Like, you can manipulate pretty much anything by dragging it around. And everything's pretty responsive. Everything feels like it has weight to it. It's an early access product, like I was saying. So what that means is it's not complete. It's low content, things of that nature. And you can see that, your character will have his facing, and one of the main quirks or problems with this game is the orientation of the camera. Camera control can be a huge issue because right now WASD will move the character around, but it's not relative to the camera. And the developers claim that it's easy to learn and hard to master, but I beg to differ. It is, in my opinion, extremely hard to learn and almost impossible to master. And don't get me wrong, there's some people out there that do really, really good, and they've invested a lot of time into the game. And I wasn't able to beat Novice until I put 7 hours into it, and Expert took me, I think, 12 hours of actual hard play. And it's supposed to be a creepy dungeon crawler game. It's got all its basics for looting and whatnot, and it's very, very enjoyable just because the combat starts to feel fluid and real if you give it a chance. I got very frustrated. I died a huge amount in the beginning, and you will too, which is the important part to keep in mind. But it's very rewarding in terms of the fight and how it goes, and landing a critical blow or getting one landed on you. And it all comes down to a lot of footwork, a lot of moving about, getting the right angle. You can see that everything is it's really rigid, but the physics of that drive it is really what sells it. And you see, it's got a standard kind of loot system and all of that nonsense. And we'll just see how far we can make it in the novice arena. And I'll try to keep sidestepping these guys, and maybe even give you all a little bit of a tutorial explanation at the end. There we go. We're using our range to beat shorthand guys like that. I don't know if we'll make it to the end. I've had a pretty bad start. And each fight is different. I mean, it really depends on the mentality of the person you're fighting, the weapon that they're using. And this guy, obviously he's got a really heavy weapon. We're not going to try to parry those blows. We're actually going to try to creep in there and engage him only when we want to. And he's starting to pressure us a little bit more. Oof, we almost lost that one. Whew. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take this guy's armor. I'm just going to start drag and dropping all his, because everything he has is pretty much better than what I'm using. I'm not sure of the specs that it requires. It doesn't seem too demanding on the PC, but it's very visually pleasing for me. I kind of really like how it's all done. This chick's going to be a little... Sometimes she gives me some issues. almost had that overhand right there. There we go. A little sidestep past her. And you can see, like, even if you've got a hit with a certain point in the weapon, like, range is important, timing's important, realizing when you should abandon an attack, you know, and go to a parry is very important. See, we caught her on that backswing right as she was getting ready to, you know, load an attack. Caught that guy early. Oh, I just missed that, and I paid for it dearly. And you can even step in if you realize that your attack's going sour, or that you're behind. And see, now he's got the same weapon as me, so this can be pretty bad because now he's got the ability to use range just like I do. And I like to stay aggressive in terms of trying to actually get after him. There we go. That was a good one. Maybe one more hit. Almost stepped into that one. There we go. Beautiful blow. But it gets really hard. Like, say if you want to do, you know, a left swing, and your camera orientation makes a huge factor. For example, I have an easy time doing, you know, the proper swings that I want from this angle. Like, if you want to do a lefty swing, you kind of got to push a sword that way and then swing it around. Same thing with this, and it all matters on how fast you like rotate. If you rotate with the blow, you know, it's physics based, so it increases the damage that is done. Oh no, we're definitely gonna keep that over a belt. We'll probably go with that, and we'll kind of match it up. But, you know, this is a very frustrating game. It's gonna appeal to a very small group, and it's even like this chick's probably gonna kill me. But there's even like an elitist kind of like, every time you try to make a recommendation, the game has a certain small following, and they're like, yeah, just get used to the controls. And while they're right, not every player has the amount of time to invest, you know, to get that fluid with a game. You should be able to play it to a decent level without having invested so much time. Almost had her on that backswing. I'm getting sucked into this corner. I'm gonna step into her. See how I nudged her back, and now we swapped roles or positions, and then she instantly killed me. Just missed that one. And there it is. Okay, so, you know, with that said, I just wanted to do kind of a quick showcase about it and maybe show different games. What really sells this is how physics driven it is, how detailed it is, and it's still an early access product. No, I'm not saying go run and buy it. This game will frustrate you. It's very addicting and frustrating until you kind of get the learning curve out of the way. And you can see sometimes I can't even make it through novice once, novice. Once it's a roll of the dice. You never know if you'll get lucky and land that critical blow on your opponent. It does have a single player campaign. It's not entirely just you know, match driven into that, but you will find yourself going to like YouTube and looking up tutorials and trying to learn how to play, you know, this game. But you know, it's got a creepy dungeon crawler atmosphere. That's what's planned for it. I know it is a prelude to something else. I don't know if they plan to like make this as inclusive as the other one, or if they plan to just kind of make this a dungeon crawler. And you know, from that perspective, it's actually like I've paid $12 for it, and I've invested more than 12 hours into it, so I paid $1 an hour for some entertainment. And at that point, I was like, well, I should probably share this. Maybe some of you guys will actually be interested in like this. But to grab things on the ground, you know, you just grab and drop, and then it'll be in the character's inventory. But you'll see that a lot of you guys are going to instantly get frustrated with, you know, how how the combat works and based off of the camera angles and how the physics work and all that stuff. But what really sells it and really makes it a fun game is it feels like the physics are there, that it's really like hard to do. You're not this epic warrior. Like a single combat can be kind of the last thing you ever do. So we'll go down here. I know there's a guy in here. We'll try to briefly fight one of these guys. You can see how they vary in different kind of AI. So this guy is going to come straight out. And I guess there's zombie. I know there's going to be magic as well, which I could kind of care less about. I'm not huge into the whole magic thing. That was a good one right there. And the AI just, it's so enjoyable seeing how different the AI fights. Like if you make it through the novice arena and you make it to here, like you'll have a much easier time defeating these guys. So we'll go ahead and grab this and throw it in there. You can see, like, you have to pay attention to, you know, everything that's going on. Like everything has physics. The second I drop that in there, like it becomes a physics related item. Yeah, we'll take the green shirt. And everything comes with stats as well. Like they're doing a pretty good basic system, and you know the weapon choices are really important. But I just wanted to take a little bit of time to kind of show what's up with that in terms of how the game is and how enjoyable it is. Let's see if we can wear a ladder. You know me, I'm always trying to break stuff. There we go. But yeah, like I said, just because of this, like you guys can see, it's such a awkwardly enjoyable game because of the physics model that this guy's done. Like you can even like run from stuff and barricade doors up and you know all of that nonsense. And it's just it makes to be a really different pace of game if you give it the chance. So you know, if 12 bucks isn't a whole lot to you, I think it's on sale. Sometimes it goes for 14 bucks. You know, give it a try. Keep in mind you'll get frustrated. The camera controls are very awkward. You know, you can press spacebar to kind of get behind where you're looking at. You can even hold it. I recommend just leaving the camera alone and learning to fight with the difference. And like one of the main things is like, well, I'm facing this way, and you know I want to step to my right. Well, I have to remember to hit, you know, the D key, which feels counterintuitive because now I'm hitting a ass backwards key. Because you know, for the last 10 years we've been playing a game that has a camera that you know stays relative to the person. They really should have thought about that, making a camera mode that actually snaps to. From what I understand, there's only you have to either hold or hit spacebar to reorientate. But either way, I look forward to seeing what direction this guy's is gonna take. These two guys are gonna take this game. I'm huge into Mountain Blade, huge into all the Viking games, physics-related games, and things like that, War of the Roses. So I just wanted to take the time to share it, kind of change the channel up a little bit, spice it up a little bit. We're still going to be doing LCPDFR, and you know, if you like it, head on over to Steam. I would recommend checking it out on YouTube as well a little bit more. My full-fledged view, very harsh learning curve. 90% of the people that buy this game are going to leave a negative review because they didn't give it the chance to grow on them. And it's funny physics, quirky physics, like some of the more realistic physics you can see. You know, see if you hit that door, like everything feels like it has weight. And you know, sometimes the physics make your character seem like a little drunk, like even like running along or running over certain things kind of get a little weird. But in the same sense, this is a pretty golden game. Like it makes combat really risky and iffy. You see, I got my foot stuck in a box. Like just awkward physics to a game, but it makes it fun, and that's like some of the interesting parts to it. I'll catch you guys at the next one. I plan to get some more LCPDFR out here shortly, and you know, I appreciate y'all having me. See you at the next one.